Let me see here. The next one, what does the next one say now? The next question, right? So you can see this 5-mark question, it was not a matter of struggling. It was a matter of knowing that we need to earn the 5 marks. You see, unfortunately, you know, in 2022, people don't want to earn things. We just want it. You know, we just want it. I mean, we can try and sympathize with the fact that people have been really dealt a bad hand recently or whenever, so they feel justified to just want stuff, but it's really not going to help anyone. That way of thinking, it's really not going to help anyone. But anyways, let me not get into that. I'm not a politician, so I'm funny. I don't want. So let's see. It's a 4-mark question, but they want us to get P now. You see, so let's maybe just copy this diagram as well. So the way we got T is not exactly the same way we're going to get P, but the thinking is the same. I'll repeat. The way we got T is not the way we got P. It's not the way we're going to get P, I mean, but the thinking is going to be the same. When I say the thinking is going to be the same, I'm referring to how, firstly, it's a 4-mark question. So we know we have to do some work to get the 4 marks. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Firstly, P is the X value of a coordinate. A is a point. It's a point on 2 straight lines. You see, so those are many things. It's a coordinate. It's an X value specifically. It's on the line AC. It's on the line BC. You see? No, AB, sorry. A is much simpler, hence why it's maybe 4. Because with point A, it's on a line, yes, it's on another line, yes, but then it just keeps on piling. On this line, we have so much information. There is a gradient, there is a y-intercept somewhere, there's the equation. It's just like you start to see, okay, wait a minute, okay, it's 4 marks, yes, but they are low-key giving it to us because we just need to go through our options, because they won't ask you anything unless they have given you something to get it. I think this is the one thing that people should take advantage of when it comes to tests. It's called a test for a reason, because you won't get a test that will ask you something you were not equipped to answer. I'll repeat, you won't get a test where they will ask you something that they did not equip you enough to answer. It wouldn't be a test, it would be something else. It's just like a driving test or whatever. When you drive, you do the exact same thing that you were equipped to do. They won't randomly now ask you to fly a plane when it's a driving test, you see. So them asking for P, it's a coordinate, they're not just asking you, they know they've given you everything. And even answering it and figuring it, sometimes it's like, yeah, you know what, they gave us a lot. Because now we know, okay, it's a coordinate, right? In terms of us using the line AC, even though now we have the 4 here and the 5 there, it's really not useful if we think of it. Because if you think of AC now, okay, do we have the distance? No. Do we have the gradient? No. Do we have the equation? No. It's just no's everywhere. So getting a coordinate, no formula to plug it into, you bail, you know? Let's move on to the next line. AB, this one, I feel like when we were writing it out, it was clearly the winner by far. Do we have a distance? No. Do we have a gradient? Yes, we do. We have gradient. Do we have an equation? Yes, we do. We have an equation. Do we have whatever it is, whatever we have, now we just have to choose which one we want. Because the fortunate thing is most of the time, multiple scenarios will work. This is why your memos have option 1, option 2, blah, blah, blah. It's also necessary to go through full papers for you to see those things. Because imagine a person goes through a question paper, they bump into a question and it's hard, but then they look at the memo and they see 3 options. That's going to help psychologically. Because psychologically, whether you like it or not, in as much as it was hard, your brain now sees, okay, wait, there were actually 3 ways to do it. So I might as well invest the time, because I don't need to know all 3. I just need to know which of these 3 is going to be useful over time or whatever. But the fortunate thing is, whether you do pick one method you like, over time, you're just going to know all of them anyways, as we've just shown here. With the gradient formula, we know that, okay, fine, we have gradient. And for it to work, we need to plug in a coordinate, which is useful to us because we need a coordinate anyways. With the equation of our straight line, we have the equation, and what we can already see is this, us having the equation, I mean, it's so straightforward to us because we need a coordinate anyways. And this formula has a coordinate. It has an x value to throw in there and a y value to throw in there, which is useful because we have an x value to throw in there. That's going to be our p. And then we have a y value to throw in there. That's going to be our 3. And then solving for the p here, this is going to go over. It's going to be 3 plus 12, which is like 15. And then divide both sides by -3, which is going to be like 15 like that, which is, I think, -5. So now, logically speaking, we are backed up by our sketch because, yes, p is a negative x value. It's on the left side. We really don't have a lot of doubt about this answer. We also don't have a lot of doubt because we didn't just do it randomly. It's only when usually a person does something randomly that they're like, I really don't know if that worked out. You know, never when you do something intentionally will it come back to bite you in a negative way, even if it's wrong. As long as you know your intentions were intentional and you were not like put in a corner, you're fine. You know, it's only when you know it was not you and blah 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 that you now really know it's not on, you see. So let's see what these other next ones are. I think hopefully we should be able to get to some of the other kinds of weird-ish questions. Let me just see here. Coordinates of, I think this one we can maybe just read verbally. It's a 2-mark question anyways. So there's a reason. It's another coordinate they want. E is a coordinate, the x value unknown, but the y value definitely known. Again, the checklist. Where's the point? It's on a line. Do we have something about that line? Yes. Do we have whatever? We have so much about this line, right? But it looks as though what's useful is going to be the equation of the straight line. Even the gradient formula is useful because we're so used to using the gradient formula to find the gradient that we don't realize we can use it to find a coordinate of the line or something like that. So for example, what I mean is AE is the same line that has the gradient of the whole line AB. So whether it's just a portion or the whole thing, they all still have a gradient of -3. So you could have your gradient over there, the first x value and the other x value. So y2 minus y1 nicely over there. And then you would still just be able to, no, I'm using the wrong coordinate here. So it would be like, you would need to label this x1 and y1, and then this maybe x2 and y2, and then plug them in your formula. Meaning you would have 3 minus the 0 there, and then -5 minus the e value, the x value of e that you're trying to figure out, you see. And then you can just solve for the x value here. It's one way to do it. But then clearly, from different papers, you will know which one is always the easier format, the one that has very few work, which is going to be y is equal to -3x minus 12. Like, wanting less work is not being lazy. The only thing is what's lazy is not trying to figure out how to do less work. That's the lazy thing, you see. So we could go into that for a long time, but yeah, I'd rather not. Let's just leave that one. But it is what it is, you see, because the hardest working people in the world, their hard workingness is not in certain things that are just trivial. It's in the things that no one wants to do. So anyways, let's see. This one I think we can move on because it's just going to be a matter of throwing in a y value of 0 over there, x value you don't know, and then you're going to get your answer. But instead of us just like me skipping this, the reason why I'm trying to get the actual answers is because, as we mentioned already, these questions all pile on each other. And that's the game. When you go through full papers, you will learn the game. Even though sometimes the game is playing you, that's better. Because it's worse when something is playing you and you don't know. Everyone knows this. You know, I mean, I feel like with things like school and work and whatever, the easiest analogy is to just use like a real life scenario. If let's say someone knows, let's say a person they like is playing them, if they know, whether you like it or not, it is way better than not knowing. You see,
Yeah.
so if certain questions are going to be hard and you know it's hard, that's much better than a person that thinks they're hard but they don't have the facts to, like, go back to something they've done, blah 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 blah. Let me not go on a rant because, hey, there's a lot on my mind today, so hey, let me not be
Yeah.
that guy. let me not be that guy. Let me just do this. 12, so
Yeah.
let me, yeah, divide by 3, it's like -4, so there's x there, perfect, right? And again, our question, does it match our sketch? Yes, it does. So you can already see all these things, us getting an answer, trying to check it out. It becomes a habit. It
Yeah.
becomes a habit because it has shown its advantages over time. Because when you
Mhm.
don't check, that's when you have a problem, you see. So let's see, let's move on to the next one there.